Welcome everyone to the David Rome Show. I am David Rome, and today is the TFL Interview Show. But before we bring in our interview guests, I want to go ahead and go over a couple of things. One, I got the big game on here on TV, Sunday Night Football, Giants versus the Cowboys. I'll be able to give you some breakaway exclusives in case you're not paying attention to the game. I'll let you know how it goes. Also, I'm going to go ahead and drop down my predictions for this year. Just as a reminder, last year, David Rome, successfully predicted that Rampant Lions would become Super Bowl champions. So I am 1 for 1 in my TFL predictions. So whoever I'm predicting this year, you should feel pretty good. Now, let's get into our predictions. Let's start off, actually, before we even get into the predictions, I want to make one minor note in case nobody remembered. There is no home field advantage in the TFL this year. So hopefully you remembered, you're not getting those 3 extra points. Now, let's get into my predictions. First off, we're going to go right into the AFC. It's AFC East, no less. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's going to be a tight matchup between Bromie's Homies and the Big Orange Army. I feel they're the 2 top teams in that division. Loose Ends doesn't have just enough players on their team that I think is going to make a big difference. So it's either going to be Bromie's Homies or Big Orange Army. The way I have it set up there right now, of course, I have Bromie's Homies taking the division with Big Orange Army taking second in the division. But don't you worry, Big Orange Army. I'm not done with you yet. We'll talk about you in just a second. In the AFC West, we have newcomers tightened up, and also name changers, the Hurricanes, who used to be known as the Senbots, but no one can pronounce his name right. I don't even know if I just pronounced his name right. Who cares? It's now the Hurricanes. Much easier to pronounce. Same team, though, unfortunately for Ben. Sorry, Ben. I have the Butt Monkeys taking the AFC West. They have the best roster out there. Obviously, we don't, put teams in the playoffs based on paper. They have to perform, but I feel his players will be the ones who perform the best. Now, AFC North. This is where things get a little difficult because you have 3 well-known teams who like to battle out and beat each other up. It's like the black and blue division of the AFC. You have Dispensing the Pain. You have last year's Super Bowl champions, the Rampant Lions, and then you also have who used to be known as Everyday I'm Rustling. They decided to change their name this year, maybe do something different, maybe it'll change something up for them, and they're now known as the Stiff Arming Dart Frogs. Stiff Arming Dart Frogs. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but we'll see how their season goes. However, in the North, I actually do have the Stiff Arming Dart Frogs taking the North Division. It feels going to be pretty close between them and Rampant Lions, but I think in the very end, as the season goes, I think it's just going to be a little too much for Jeff to be able to control his roster, the way he likes to move his players around. I think Stiff Arming has the best lineup, and pending injury, they'll be the ones to take the North. In the AFC South, you have the Sriracha Angry Chickens, the Havoc Hawks, and the Pill Pushers. Hands down, Pill Pushers. They'll repeat us. They're getting back into the playoffs. They're the best in that division, in my opinion. Once again, looking at it on paper, I feel they've got the better team, and I think they're going to be the ones that perform the best. So, for those who are not listening or not paying attention, I have Bromie's Homies taking the East, Butt Monkeys taking the West, Stiff Arming Dart Frogs taking the North, and the Pill Pushers taking the South. Who are my wildcard teams going to be? That's easy. Big Orange Army from the East and the Rampant Lions from the North. They're the next 2 best teams in my opinion. Now, let's go to the NFC before I give you my AFC playoff championships. NFC. We have East, West, North, South. Just like the AFC, we all know how this works. In the East, This one was a little bit tougher. We have Telford Terrors in the East now, new name change for them. But and then you also have the veterans, Big South Bandits, and the Northeast Flying Bombers. My personal opinion, I think the Big South Bandits are going to take the East. It'll be a very slight margin, though, from the Northeast Flying Bombers. Slight margin, but I think Big South just has the right amount of players that's going to give them the East Division title. In the NFC West, joke. It's a joke. That I don't even I don't know if anyone's checked the rosters, but this is going to be the worst division of the league. I'll be shocked if they do anything. I didn't even want to take one of their teams, but you have to. I'm sorry that I'm being so negative to you, the NFC West. I'm sorry, but I just have to be. It's a horrible, horrible division from just the way the teams, rosters look. Maybe something will surprise me. Maybe something will change. We'll find out later in the year. But I had to pick somebody, so I'm with newcomer, team name, the Slightly Darker Blacks. That is, I believe, Ted, coming from the TCAA, coming in here to play, getting his feet wet in the TFL. He's known as Tedzilla in the TCAA, in case you're wondering how he's doing over there. In the North, I think we have a juggernaut in this division, and that would be the Maynardville Mudfish. They are stacked. Their team is ridiculous looking. You have quarterback, you have Phillip Rivers. Now I know people are going to be like, "Oh, it's Phillip Rivers," but he is a very serviceable quarterback. He'll get you your standard 15 to 20 points without any issues. But he's got Matt Forte as his running back. He's got Justin Forsett. Could he repeat how he did last year? I don't know. Wide receivers, though. That's where the moneymaker is in this team. You got A.J. Green. If he stays healthy, he's dangerous. DeAndre Hopkins. If their quarterback situation can be handled, he's going to be dangerous. Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Jarvis Landry. I could keep going here. Mike Wallace. Maybe he'll be the new threat in Minnesota to base off of AP. Tight ends, he's got Jimmy Graham. Will that change over after going to Seattle? I don't know. But we'll find out as the season goes. Bottom line, Maynard Mudfish, in my opinion, are the class of that division. And I had that followed up by Old School and Terrible Towels. In the South, we have last year's NFC participant in the Super Bowl, Murphy's Law, Shiver Blasters, and Central Wildcats. And it was very hard to pick between two of these teams, Murphy's Law or Shiva Blasters. I went with who has the experience from last year, and that's Murphy's Law. I feel they're going to go ahead and repeat as the South Division champs. They started out really strong last year. I would like to think they're going to start out just as strong this year. So, in the NFC, I have Big South Bandits, Slightly Darker Black, and then Maynard Mudfish, and Murphy's Law as your division champions. Wild cards, I've chosen Northeast Flying Bombers and the Shiva Blasters. So there's your 6 in the NFC. We got your 6 in the AFC. I'm not going to break down how I think the seeding will go and who I think will face each other in the playoffs. I'm just going to give you the title games in both the AFC and the NFC, and then who I believe will win the Super Bowl. In the AFC, I feel the championship matchup is going to be the stiff-arming Dart Frogs and the Pill Pushers. In the NFC, the Maynard Mudfish and Big South Bandits. Big South getting back into that championship game. We're going to talk about that much later in our interview. It's a question I have coming up to ask the coach there, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, Super Bowl. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? I have, in the NFC, the Maynardville Mudfish facing the stiff-arming Dart Frogs. And my winner prediction for this year, the Maynardville Mudfish. Write it down. There you go. I think Kent's going to take this one. His team is stacked. It's strong. If it stays healthy, it's going to be dangerous. My opinion. There you are, everyone. There you go, folks. TFL predictions. Maynardville Mudfish winning the Super Bowl this year. And in case you were wondering, Dallas has taken the lead. It is 3-0 Dallas as we go to the commercial break. Meanwhile, as a commercial break, I will also go to a commercial break, and I will be right back with our first interviewee. Welcome back, everyone, to the TFL David Rome Show. This is the interview show. This part of the program is known as Takes All Day. I was able to get in last year's NFC Championship participants, Murphy's Law, and the Big South Bandits. So, Murphy's Law, let's get right into this. How has the taste of that loss gone away from last year when you lost in the Super Bowl?
It did take a little bit to get over that loss last year. I actually was playing for the championship in our league and another league, and I owned a combination of Demaryius Thomas, A.J. Green, and I was playing against Emmanuel Sanders and Pac-Man, and we saw how it worked out. So it was fun being there. It was really cool to see that in person. But, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for 2015 now.
Well, it's good to hear you're having success all around. But let's get right into this. Have there been any changes you made to your team to make it again into the playoffs and also into the Super Bowl? And this time, will you be able to be more successful?
Where I really got burned last year was in the return game. The return points are not something I'm accustomed to in other leagues, and Pac-Man really took it to me in that final game last year. So I tried to draft a couple of guys in Dorsett and Lockett that I could potentially run as returners if they become pretty valuable the way Jarvis Landry did last year. They could help me quite a bit, but the biggest move is probably just securing my roster for the next few years and franchising Demaryius Thomas and transitioning T.Y. Hilton and locking up Olsen for 4 more years. Those guys are kind of the key to my team as Drew Brees gets a little older and DeMarco Murray probably plays his last year of a relevant running back in Philadelphia.
Well, it sounds like you've made yourself a couple of good moves. I know one in particular with Lockett. Hopefully you're able to play him this week because he did have himself that punt return that you're looking for. Now, you've been in this league now for a full year. What do you think of the TFL? Are there any changes that you'd like to propose? Give us the full synopsis of what you feel the TFL is.
Yeah, it's been over a year now in this league, and I've gotten to do 2 rookie drafts. That's probably my favorite part so far. I like the dual conference idea. I wish we could get some sort of chat together, maybe a Google Hangout or something, where all the owners can discuss football games and moves and trades and stuff more regularly. That would be pretty exciting. I like that. I think the camaraderie aspect of fantasy is one thing that we miss in our Dynasty League, but overall it's really a lot of fun, and I enjoy knowing who's on my roster and thinking about 2 and 3 and 4 years ahead with these guys.
Hey man, you just say the word and you're always invited to when we do our recordings. The monthly shows probably be recorded on Wednesdays. When we do them, I always send out messages from the site to let everybody know that when we're recording and who's recording when. But anytime, you're welcome to join us. Now, speaking of joining us, why have you not yet joined the TCAA?
The TCAA sounds fun. I just have a lot on my plate. I play in 4 money leagues, and those really take a lot of my focus. I like the Dynasty because there's not a whole lot to do during the season to set your lineup, but the off-season keeps me entertained. But, yeah, TCAA, I feel like that's for the rookies of the world.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Shots are fired to any of you in the TCAA. Murphy isn't involved in it yet. He thinks it's for rookies. Maybe we should show him what's up. Anyway, once again, Murphy's Law. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. We look forward to you having a good season, and the best of luck to you. Have a good one. Okay, and we're going to take ourselves another commercial break, and when we're back, I'll be joined with the owner of the Big South Bandits. Stay tuned.
Bam! Bam!
And now I'm going to be joined with the Big South Bandits owner. How's it going today?
Hey, David Rome. Hey, I appreciate you having me part of your show this year.
Hey, Chuck, it's no problem. Let me get right off to this. How has this off-season been?
We've had a really good off-season. We've got rid of some of the dead wood that we had on our team last year, and we've replaced them with some better players. We picked up Lamar Miller, which I think will be a good addition to our running back team. I feel really good about Terrence West and Braden Oliver, so I think we got 3 solid guys right there. I'm also excited about the fact that, Terrence West is now playing for the Tennessee Titans and got traded away from those gosh-awful Cleveland Browns. I mean, those people, I've learned one thing now. I drafted Justin Gilbert last year, and the guy's been a total flop for the Browns. They haven't even used him as a return guy, which is one of the reasons I drafted him, so they've been a total failure as a team, so I'm going to really not look to draft any of the Cleveland Browns players anymore. And my gosh, how good can they be at evaluating talent? They drafted Johnny Manziel. Oh, my goodness. But all season's been strong. A lot of the guys got bigger, faster, got fed real good by the moms, didn't beat any women up. So it's been a good year for us so far.
Well, that is great to hear, knowing everything has gone well for the team and that you have yourself some outstanding good mama's boys, it sounds like. But is this team ready to make another run to the championship game?
This team is ready to make another championship run. As I said, we've picked up and improved some of the important areas of our team, which is, running back, where we was weak last year, but we're still got a good quarterback. We got best receivers, I think, in the league. We're strong at the linebacker spot and cornerback spot, so feel good about my defense and my offense. So I think we can make another championship run if the breaks go our way.
And speaking of that championship game again, do you have any idea what caused that loss?
One thing that hurt us last year in that championship game was we went into it on a roll, and our players were lighting it up. And all of a sudden, when teams start lightening up, it's just lo and behold, they're all going to have a bad game at the same time, and that's what happened. We went from setting records in scoring to scoring the least we scored all year. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. You don't win championships without a little bit of Mother Nature and good luck tapping you on the shoulder. So we'll be back this year. We got a better team. Some of our competitors have gotten better. Some have gotten worse. But I think we can play with anybody.
Well, as you were on hold, I'm sure you heard my predictions that I have you back into the championship game, but I don't have you into that Super Bowl game. So who do you think your main threat is this year that may cause you not to make the playoffs or may not cause you to win in that championship game to get into the Super Bowl? Who is your threat?
The one team in the NFC that I think I've got to watch out for is the Murphy's Law. It's got a really well-balanced team, so he should be a contender. Now he has a tendency to outcoach himself and lose some games that he shouldn't win. So we'll see how Murph does with coaching this year, see if he's improved any. Maynardville Mudfish, they should be flopping around and doing pretty good, but kind of the same thing there. Kent will make some bad trades throughout the year to kind of hurt himself. So I'm just kind of going to sit back and try to win the games I'm supposed to win and let those guys make the mistakes that allows me to get to that championship run.
Oh, shots have been fired at some of your NFC foes. Well, this should be one heck of a season for you guys. I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you for joining us.
You take care. Let's all have a good season.
All right, folks. Well, that will do it for this edition of the TFL Interview Show. Takes all day. Thank you for joining us. Can't wait to hear from our participants next week, where we will have Havoc Hawks and Central Wildcats. Amos is still having a lifeline out there to try and get Pill Pushers and Rampant Lions in. Hopefully they'll be able to make it next week. Catch you later. Have a good one. See ya!